Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Anisha. I talk everything around astrology and tarot. Long time no see. I've been taking a little break for the last 3 months. So for those of you who are my regular subscribers, welcome back. And for those of you who are new to my channel, I do hope that you enjoy the content that I create for you. I'm going to be talking about two things, and it could get slightly long and maybe slightly technical, but have patience because this is something which is really important. It's going to be impacting all of us irrespective of our own zodiac sign. Now we still have a Venus retrograde that has been going on, and Venus retrograde is going to be carrying on till about 5th of September, and while we are still in it, we also have a Mercury which is going to go retrograde around the 23rd of August. Now for a lot of us, we may say, like, what's the deal? I'm just going to check my camera very quickly because I tend to leave it off. It's on. Wonderful. So for a lot of us, we're going to say, what's the big deal? Mercury goes retrograde at least 4 times in a year. Now, Mercury, which is known as the planet of communication, travel, any kind of negotiation, it also speaks about our own interpersonal relationship that we have. It also governs from regular chit chat to the entire social media. What is it that is being riled up? What is it that is being pushed down? And also how it is that we communicate our ideas to other people. Now, in a typical retrograde, Mercury retrograde, all of this breaks down. Retrograde basically means that you're reversing your steps, you're being allowed to think, rethink whatever it is that you have decided. So maybe some papers need to get reviewed, maybe you need to be looking at certain friendships, you need to be reviewing them, maybe you just take a breather from them. In certain cases, this also has to do with negotiations, it has to do with travel plans that get slightly complicated. So for those of you who are traveling, please ensure that you have everything right. Now, it has been an entire summer of explosive planetary clashes, and this retrograde, Mercury retrograde, which is there in Virgo, and Virgo is the, or rather, Mercury is the ruling planet of Virgo. So Virgo is quite at home over here. But also, what is to note is that we also have Mars, which is super active. So what this simply means is that you have to watch what you say. You have to be very careful about not just what you say, but how you're saying. So the entire Martian energy can bring about this need, to say things just out as they are. Maybe that there's restlessness, maybe there's anger, maybe there's a repressed grief. And as much as you will feel, and as much as that Mars is going to be pushing you to say certain things, just ensure that you bite your tongue, because this can have quite long-lasting effects. Also because Mercury is retrograde in Virgo, and Virgo is all about perfectionism, Virgo is about self-worth, Virgo is about how things need to get done. So it can be that during this time, for a lot of us, our own sense of self-worth gets questioned. Maybe you are, sending out messages to yourself, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I need to be doing better, I need to be changing this about my body, I need to be earning more money, I need to be, it can be anything. So your own sense of self-worth is going to really get questioned this time. And also there is something which we call as a pre-shadow work. So this is before Mercury rules into a certain planet. So right now it's at an 8 degree to Virgo, so that means it's like, it's stationed at 20, so it'll go 19, 18, 17, da da da. By the time it comes in, it stops at 8, and when the retrograde gets over, then it will start moving back again to the 20 degree of where it is right now. Now, in the pre-shadow phase, that is when Mercury has started ruling, because overnight planets just don't go and get up and go and sit over there and say, okay, let's begin the retrograde. But Mercury in the pre-shadow, so this started around the 4th of August. So you would have noticed in the beginning of August, conversations are getting little iffy. You are feeling slightly uncomfortable. It can be that, some misunderstandings, typos may have already begun. So, the lesson of this Mercury retrograde in Virgo is all about watching your communication, whether it is written, whether it is spoken, whether it is even, I would say, repeating gossip. That's like a big, you just say, oh, I know, as if that you assuming on someone's behalf, I know she's like that. Oh, I know she was with me and I know. So refrain from making these comments, especially these personal comments, because they will get repeated. And that's what, and also not just the worry about it getting repeated, because it's it's a trickster planet. Mercury is playing truant, so it will get repeated with a lot of more juice into it. How she said, how things just get really unnecessarily complicated. Now, this also doesn't mean that it's going to be really bad, because Virgo is a sign of efficiency, and it just means that it just breaks down the organizational structure, and you will just feel that either your staff is away, or either you're just not able to manage things around at home, and everything seems like really disoriented during this time. But also the important thing over here is that maybe you need to witness this chaos in order to put things right. So maybe you needed to see that random text before you committed in a relationship. Maybe you needed to know that there is there is an extramarital affair that's happening which you're not aware about. Maybe you need to be knowing that your staff is going to be leaving permanently before you sort of rearrange your entire home scenario. It can be about a colleague who's maybe been siphoning money or has been passing away information, and maybe through an email you come to know that, oh, this person has been doing some amount of pilferage, or is not being acting in the best lines of the organization. So it allows you, it gives you that transparency, it gives you that clarity, so that you can take a decision. And as the pieces will start to fall around you with this retrograde in Mercury, I think the best thing that you can do is that just sit back, because everything is literally is going to be stuck with matchsticks and glue. And you're going to be a little silly if you're going to be taking this really seriously and say that, oh, I'm going to take this big decision and I'm going to do something really drastic. Mercury is still retrograde. That means that you will regret a certain decision despite whatever drama or chaos is being caused. So you need to be really giving it time. And that's by 15th of September is when also Mercury will go, it will start moving backward and rolling backward rather. And also we'll have Jupiter, that is the planet of abundance, and we have Saturn, that's the planet of karma. And also we have three more planets that are we also have Venus, that are all retrograde. So we may not really notice Mercury going direct, because there's so much of other drama that's happening around us that we may feel okay, one more thing that happens, so all right. So what I'm trying to say is, not a good thing to be blaming everything on Mercury retrograde. And the post retrograde shadow of Mercury, like we had a pre one which started on the 2nd of August, that will be till about 30th of September. So technically, even though it finishes on the 15th, but there'll still be so just be careful, that's a law. We've also had Venus that has been retrograde in Leo. This started in July 22nd and it's going to be carrying on till September. It's been a very long retrograde, and Venus normally gets retrograded every 2 years. So this is a time also with the Mercury retrograde and Venus retrograde that we are intrinsically going through some changes as far as our emotional makeup is concerned. And also we are we are stepping into our power. We are confronting the ways that we are treated. It can be in certain cases that we are um, we are seeing ourselves as being abandoned or invisible and unworthy of love and affirmation. So Mercury can actually aid in the reinvention. Mercury can um, give you a perspective as to how it is that you need to be looking at yourself, how it is that you need to be um, making sense of what is it that has got left behind after all the clash. And I would say for certain zodiac signs, it could have been fairly rough. And it can also be, that this entire time, I would say the September month, it's really a time of releasing. It's a time of healing. And if we were to say that, on the 19th September, we have Ganesh Chaturthi, and that's a time that, he's the god of new beginnings, and he's the clearer of obstacles. And then on the 15th of September, we have a Rosh Hashanah, which is the Jewish New Year. So if you're seeing a pattern over here, and then of course we have the summer equinox, which is there on the September 23rd. So it's a season of rebirth. It's a season of releasing things which are not working. It's a time of really dealing with your bullshit. It's a time of, I don't know whether I can say that on a video, whether it'll get bleeped, but it's really a time to be dealing with your BS, and it's a time to be integrating all those hard lessons. Learn what you need to learn. Try not to put all the blame on the Mercury retrograde and the blame on the Venus retrograde. Yes, they do have a role to play, but they are also giving you an opportunity to change yourself, to literally, like I said, it's a rebirth. You are inside out. You have to not just make that physical change. You need to be looking at your friend circle. You need to be minimalizing, you need to be narrowing, you need to be looking at people who add value. You need to be able to get up from somewhere, where that love and respect is not given to you, and have the courage to walk away and say, I do not want to participate in this. Now, it's very important because Mercury is retrograde in Virgo, and Virgo is all about precision. Virgo is about clarity. So keep an eye on, what is it? What are your goals? What is it that you want for yourself? How is it that you intend to achieve? Try not to, too many unnecessary conversations. Journal. Make notes for yourself. They're not for the public to be seen. And also, this is a time wherein we also have Uranus, our friend, unpredictable, the wild boy of astrology, and Jupiter, and even they're both known for their rebellious and innovative vibes. So this is also a time to be looking at calculated risks. So I would say, while not a great time to be taking huge decisions, but maybe where some tweaking is required financially, it could be worth your while. And also, I would say that, if for those of you who are getting really these sparks of innovative ideas and creativity bursting, just sit for a while with them, just sit and think and mull and do not take any action. This is also a time, again, we also have Pisces, which is there's a full moon in Pisces end of the month. I'll be doing another video for it. And the Virgo energy is going to be coming in contact with the Pisces energy. That is the perfection, precision, clarity is going to be meeting that soft Neptunian energy, which is all about, let's all forgive and let's all heal. Which is wonderful because in Virgo's mind, you in any case, you're way too critical. You're hurting. You're saying, I'm not good. I'm not worthy of love. I'm not respected. I'm not appreciated. And Pisces, full moon, the Neptunian energy is sort of engulfing and saying, just release it. Just let it go. Just literally just let it go. So with the new moon, which is aligning very closely to the Mercury's position, it is going to be it's emphasizing that this retrograde is all about putting up new systems and putting up new structures and organizations, things which have not been working. It's to be more intentional in our own self-care and daily routine, whether small things on how it is that you talk to yourself, how is it that you take time out for yourself, how it is that you treat yourself on a daily basis. And for those of you who are going through a rough time, my prayers for you. And try and journal, just try and write. It really, really helps. It's not for public consumption, you don't even have to share it with anybody, but it is something which will really heal you. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. It's good to be back. I'll see you again soon.